One of my students was telling me a story about a dramatic event in her life. She needed to describe some people so I could understand the situation. The problem was, she didn't know the right words to describe the people. She couldn't express the dramatic impact she wanted. I want you to listen to this story so that you can get new vocabulary to describe people so you don't have the same problem as my student. I'm going to tell you a story about a guy named Dick. I'm going to use the astrology signs to describe his character. I'm going to show how he can overcome a problem in his life using his strong points and weak points. Welcome to the English Listening World podcast for extensive English listening. I'm Les, and I've been teaching English conversation for over 20 years. I know how important listening is for students, so I made this convenient, short listening practice that you can add to your practice list. Here are a few pre-questions before the story starts. Questions. Number 1. What did Dick think he could learn from zodiac signs? Number 2. What strong points did Dick find about Sagittarius? Number 3. How many points did Dick put on his business checklist? Number 4. What changes did Dick see after a few weeks? Number 5. Where does success come from? Using astrology for business. Dick was stuck. At 35, his business was going nowhere. He needed a change. But what? One day, while scrolling through his phone, he saw something about zodiac signs. Why not, he thought. I'll try anything at this point. Strong points and weak points. Dick looked up Sagittarius traits online. He was surprised by what he found. Sagittarians were known for being optimistic, honest, and adventurous. They loved to learn and explore new ideas. These were all things Dick could use in his work. But there were weak points too. Sagittarians could be impatient and say things without thinking. Dick realized he did this sometimes with his customers. No wonder they got mad. Business checklist. He decided to use his Sagittarius strengths to help his business grow. He made a list. 1. Be more optimistic in meetings. 2. Try new ideas for products. 3. Be honest with customers about what he could do. 4. Learn something new about his industry every week. Dick also worked on his weak points. He practiced thinking before speaking. He tried to be more patient when things went wrong. Changes came. At first it was hard. Dick felt silly using astrology to run his business. But after only a few weeks, he noticed changes. Customers seemed happier. His team had more energy. And Dick felt excited about work again. A challenge. One day, a big client called. They wanted to try something new and risky. The old Dick would have said no right away. But now, he saw it as an adventure. Let's just give it a shot, he said. The project was a huge success. Dick's business started to grow. He couldn't believe it. Who knew that looking at the stars could help him down on Earth? Know yourself. Dick learned that success comes from knowing yourself, your strong points, and your weak ones. And sometimes, you only need to look in an unexpected place to find the answers. In the end, Dick realized that by using his Sagittarius traits, he had not only saved his business, but made it better than ever. He was glad he had taken that one small step to learn about himself. It had led to a giant leap for his company. Answers. 1. What did Dick think he could learn from zodiac signs? He thought he could learn some ways to grow his business. 2. What strong points did Dick find about Sagittarius? He learned that Sagittarians were optimistic, adventurous, and honest. 3. How many points did Dick put on his business checklist? Dick had 4 simple points on his checklist. 4. What changes did Dick see after a few weeks? He saw that customers were happier, his team had more energy, and Dick felt more excited about work. 5. Where does success come from? Dick found success comes through knowing yourself.